You want to develop an elite mid-range jumper like Devin Booker, CJ McCollum, Kyrie Irving, Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, and all the best scorers in the NBA in the past and present. So the best way to do this is going to be focused on a few different things, but the footwork is probably the most important. How you're able to pop quickly into that shot and get up before the defense can even realize that you're shooting the ball and they think you're going to the basket. What's key and very critical is to 1-2, right, left, and shoot the ball anytime you're going left. And then when you go right, it should be left, right. That way there's no wasted steps. It's the inside foot, then the outside foot. Then the next piece in the mid-range to be really, really elite is to get some lift on it, to actually elevate so you can shoot it over big players like the one guarding here. Let's key in on the footwork here. As I drive to the left, it's going to be inside foot, outside foot. Right, left, I'm able to elevate while the defender is still moving forward. He thinks I'm going to the basket, but that's the most efficient way to get up into this. Don't waste any extra steps. When I go to the right, the inside foot will be the left foot. So that's step 1, step 2, and then I can rise. There's going to be a bad example coming up here, and you want to focus on not doing that. So this next one, see how I take 1, 2, 3. You don't want to do that. That would be outside, inside. So don't do that. Let's focus on 1, 2, and rise right there. Stay on balance and lift up. And then your counters will build off of this. So I can drive into a 1, 2 shot fake, 1, 2 shot fake, and I'm able to build. Now you could do this with a 1 dribble pull-up, a 2 dribble pull-up. Your pump fakes are great options off of those if you can quickly stop. And then also rise. The defense will be guessing the whole time. They won't know what you're doing. And even as you go off a crossover, it should be 1, 2 pop. Here's the bad example with the hop. Don't do that. It should just be 1, 2, and you can rise into it. You can also 1, 2 counter. Now I used to do this drill all the time to work on this on my own. At my house, in the backyard, I would jab, 1, 2, and shoot it. Jab, 1, 2, and shoot it. And I would do this over and over again until I could make 10 in a row to the right and 10 in a row to the left. Now, once you have the skill, it's important to not only know how to do it, but then when to do it, right? So on this example here, you can see that I'm able to rise up and get into that jumper before the defense is even set. So I'm exploding to the left because there's less help side on the left, but I notice that there's no gap there. So I quickly pull up here. The defense is still trying to gather themselves and catch their feet. I can lift straight up and get into that shot. So if you see help side at the rim, it's a good idea to pull up. But it's not only about the help side. Even your primary defender, once they turn their hips, just like this one, right about now, he turns his hips, that's when I can get into my pull-up, and there's no way that he can set his feet in time to get back into the shot. But the lift is very important as well. The easiest way to practice that lift and to imagine that there's someone guarding you is to do a 1 or 2 dribble pull-up, jump as high as you can, and as soon as you get here, don't shoot the ball. Just work on that. Eventually, then you can learn to shoot the basketball from that height. Having those quick feet and good lift on the jumper is the only way I can get it off over someone who's 6'5". Again, you're going to see that push out with the left hand. I'm going to right, left as the defense is still moving. Then I lift straight up into the air with a little bit of a fade back. I can release it, and as I land nice and on balance, you'll see that shot go in. But the balance is key. Elevating high, quick feet, and just slightly leaning back. As I try to get to the basket, a lot of help side defenders will step up, and that's why I settle for those mid-range jumpers. But pay attention to the defender's hips right here. As soon as I take a large step, he turns his hips. Right in this moment, that's a wide open jump shot because of the way I was able to quickly step into my shot and elevate over, stay on balance, and then knock it down. So I highly suggest you work on it. Now this example is going to be the most unique of the bunch because my defender gets some miscommunication here. He thinks there's going to be a switch. The guy in the white doesn't switch as my brother cuts through, and then I don't have a defender for a second. So I'm going to the basket, recognize that there's no one there, and can get into a pull-up. I would keep going, but I had a teammate sitting on the block, so instead of running into more people, it made more sense to pull up there. Here, I'm not even trying to go to the basket. I recognize that there's a ton of space in the middle, so if I just throw the ball ahead, I can rise and get over my defender since he's shorter than me. I'm able to push it out, 1, 2, and I actually square in the air, and this is something that a lot of elite players do. So step 1 is I got a guy going through. I get a little bit of contact, and then I swipe the arm off. Pay attention to my left arm. Swipe it off, and I'm not trying to go to the basket. I'm throwing the ball into open space, and I step into my shot way faster than he can. I elevate, square in the air, and I can get it off. Now, this is normally something that you do around 15 feet, maybe, a little closer than that. Doing that from the three-point line is a bit tougher, so that's why this is a mid-range pull-up. This one here, I honestly shouldn't even have gotten this shot off. But there was a small little factor here that I used to get it off. Instead of lifting straight up, and even really lifting high, I focus more on just lifting away from the defender. So on that crossover, you can see it's a 1 dribble, right, left, and then I'm able to pull up here. But focus on this instance right now, how I lean back. If that's straight up and straight down, that's a block. Slightly leaning back, I'm able to get it nice and over. And of course, I always have good arc on it so the ball travels over the glass and then can drop in. And if you haven't already got the shadow ball, I highly suggest that you get one today, as we only have about 50 left. I want to help you shoot with better rotation, get your hands in the right spot, no matter how old you are, to knock down shots in a perfectly straight line and be efficient with it. We only have about 50 shadow balls left, and it's going to help you to put your shooting hand in the center of the basketball so that way you get your hand under the ball, put your guide hand in the perfect spot so you don't push the ball with two hands, and keep a really nice alignment with your shot. So not only do you get better at catch and shoots, but you can also get better with your mid-range pull-ups as well. Cop one at inthelab.tv. Let me know if you guys like these videos, and I'll definitely be posting some more. I appreciate you, and I cannot wait to help you some more.